Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's take a look at the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. Both are mRNA vaccines. Now, mRNA is a protein, and now doctors are hopeful that what we've learned from these vaccines can actually help cancer patients. In fact, Moderna and Pfizer are working on this type of stuff as we speak. And in a year or two, we'll find out if these new treatments can actually be added to the arsenal of treatments designed to get the body to fight off its own tumors. Now, to help us give a little bit more context here, we're bringing in Associate Director of the Melanoma and Skin Cancer Research Center at Sarah McKean Research Institute at Tennessee Oncology. Welcome, Meredith. Welcome to the show, Meredith McKean.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, first of all, if you had to explain what mRNA is, basically in the simplest possible way, how would you break it down to somebody?
Yeah, so mRNA is the instructions, usable instructions of the DNA of a patient's tumor. And so the mRNA is the instructions that are kind of condensed and are used, and after being used in developing a protein, that mRNA breaks down relatively quickly.
Okay, now a lot of people heard of mRNA for the first time during the pandemic when these vaccines were coming out. A lot of people just haven't heard of it before. So I had to ask, and how did it start to be used in the context of cancer research? How did that even come about? Is this something that's new, or has this always kind of been there?
Well, the idea of cancer vaccines is actually very old. The idea of cancer vaccines and trying to identify proteins of cancer cells that the body's immune system can go and fight like it's an infection. There have been studies looking at that for decades. The idea of being able to use mRNA has greatly sped up the development of potentially personalized cancer vaccines. And that's because the technology is so much faster that it gives us the opportunity to make personalized cancer vaccines, where we can meet individual patients, enroll in a clinical trial, and make a vaccine for them specifically for the tumor and the type of cancer that they have.
That's fascinating. Tell us about your experience using mRNA technology on patients.
Yeah, so I primarily see melanoma patients, and although we've made great advances with immune therapies over the last 10 years, we're still looking for better treatments. And so personalized cancer vaccines have been an exciting opportunity for patients, either patients with early or late stage cancer, to be able to say, let's look at your tumor and identify what parts of your tumor the immune system should recognize, and be able to make a vaccine and give that to patients to try to help them in their fight against cancer.
Fascinating. Do you think, Meredith, that one day we will have a cancer vaccine available for people? Are you optimistic about that?
But I'm hopeful. I think that as we progress in these clinical trials, we'll eventually know if personalized cancer vaccines are adding more benefit to our standard of care. I know in patients it's been well tolerated, and we're very hopeful that this might be another treatment option in the future.
And it's not just mRNA specifically. I mean, what do you think about all of the other technology that's happened? Not just the technology, I guess, just everything that's come out of the pandemic. If we want to talk about silver linings, oftentimes we do, unfortunately, here, especially on the news. We're focusing on the doom and the gloom because there's just so much of it happening. People need to know that. But in terms of the kind of things that have been developed, vaccines developed at a breakneck pace, things like that. Moving forward, what kind of lasting impact do you think COVID-19 will have in terms of huge leaps in technology?
Yeah, I think mRNA is one of the best examples. A technology that had been used for cancer vaccines for a number of years that's gaining more publicity, and being able to encourage cancer patients that there are newer therapies out there, and we are trying to make more strides for personalizing cancer treatment. That's really where we're headed in cancer, is trying to best understand individual patients' tumor and to develop treatments that are specific to them and treatment plans that are specific to how to try to attack their tumor.
Meredith McKean, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Sounds great. Thank you.